Welcome to another video from Dr. Lock. Okay, what we have in front of us today is cradles. So this particular cradle is, well, basically for the plug. You put it in there, and then you put your key in one side, like so, and then you drop your pins in. Now, if your pins are not to the shear line, what can happen is that when you've got your key and then you try and turn it, it won't allow the plug to turn, because this shear line has to be perfect with the pins, not high, not low, has to be perfect. So this cradle allows you to actually do that. You put the pins in, and then if you try and turn it, it'll turn or won't turn. The only way you can get it wrong is if the pins are low. If they're high, you're gonna notice it. It also doubles up as a way of holding the plug and stopping it from spilling out. Many locksmiths would know that when they're trying to key up, and it's floating around like this, all of a sudden, bang, and all the pins come out. So cradle is a good idea. This particular one here is for bilock. This one is a HPC one, and this one is from the US, and it cost me over $100. It's been good. I've had it for many years. You clamp it into the vise like this, and then from there you've got this little adjustment nozzle, and so this little adjustment screw, and then this center section here actually puts pressure on the plug in an upwards fashion, holding it nice and snug in there. So I'll just show you. You load it, and this part here, spring loaded. Look, I haven't found that spring loaded section to be that necessary, but one of the benefits is that if you're dealing with a different size plug, it's still going to work. So in Australia we use plugs that are about, I think, 12.5 millimeters. If you're in a different country and you've got slightly larger ones, which I have seen, then it's still going to fit. So perhaps that was the purpose behind it. I don't know. Somebody who's more familiar with HPC would know. If they're going to make one, they're going to make one that kind of suit everyone. So that is my philosophy, but works perfectly for us with these standard size plugs. You put it in there, you put your key, you key it up, and you can just swing it back and forth to know that it's going to meet the shear line, and that's kind of what it does. Now, if you cannot afford this nice expensive one and all the rest, we're going to make one today, and I'll show you how to do that. It's pretty straightforward and simple. So just taking note here as well, a few key features. So this is a circle, and then they've just come along and taken the top off. So here you have an edge, here you have an edge. The way we're going to be doing it is we're just going to take a cylinder housing, and we're just going to sand it completely down, leaving a nice sharp edge on this side and a nice sharp edge on this side. This bilock one, we'll have a look for example. Once again, they've started off with a complete piece of metal, then they've drilled a little hole on the side and a little hole on this side, of course for the sidebars, and then they've come through with this nice 12.5mm hole here, and then they've come along and they've just milled the top of it. So completely flat here and here, just milled the top of it and then mounted it onto a piece of metal. So that's good. The benefit behind this is it's got weight, so I can just pop that on the bench like that. I'll probably pop it like that, and I can start keying up, right? And if you're doing bilock, you can swing it around, and it's got a recessed section in here which fits in there perfectly, but you can just use it for stock standard ones, no problems. And it's got the weight. As with this, you need to have a vise, because it can fall over. There is provisions here for 2 holes, and some sort of cradle or bench mount could be quite easily made. It wouldn't be too hard. Anyway, all right, what are we going to do? So the other day I was pulling plugs with my plug puller, this one right here, and I ended up with this housing. I thought, okay, that's going in the brass recycling bin, and I thought, no, maybe perhaps what we could do with it is show some of the younger locksmiths how to make a cradle of this nature. Now, this particular profile cylinder, or what I like to call a Euro cylinder, is good for that because it has the base here which can be easily clamped. The next benefit of making one out of this is that it's a cheap material that we have plenty of, so it's not going to cost you anything. It's not going to cost you $100 or over $100 for this one. It's going to cost you virtually nothing, because what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to make 2 of them. So we're going to start off by just cutting down here. We're going to cut that in half nicely, and yes, I could snap it, but I'd like to do a nice job. So I'm going to cut that. Then I'm going to linish this side here, so that it's nice and flat like this here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the linisher, and I'm basically, well, if you don't know what a linisher is, it's basically a big sander. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand a flat section on this, which will be exactly the same as what they've done here. You can see this, sand it. So I'm going to sand it, and I'm going to make sure that I keep sanding until I've got approximately about at least 10 mil of clearance. You can see that? So straight down here, straight down here. So I like the linisher because it has quite a large belt and it's flat. So what that means is that when I'm when I'm sanding, my sandpaper is like this. I can just grab this like this and just push it in until I get the desired result. Actually, what I'll do is I'll linish it first and then I'll cut it, because that gives me more material to hold on to. And then once I've got my top section to open up, I'm going to come through and cut it and linish it. And then I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, Ryobi bench grinder / linisher. Just put a new belt on it. Let's see if she spins good. Alright, let's see what it does to this. So we're going to do both sides all the way across. We have a flat section, so I'm just going to push it in like that. Let's go. Alright, so back from cutting and linishing. So I basically cut it on this side, cut it on this side, pulled them apart, linished both sides just so they got a nice surface there. The front surface is already like a dress surface because that was the outside of the cylinder. And as you can see, I've just linished off a good section. Now what happens with the brass was heating up and it's moving down, so I've got a very fine part of a very fine, like, little sheet there, you could say, of brass. But I've left it there because I don't want to take down too much. I kind of want that for the sidewalls. Now, you can do this any old way you want, but I'm just going to pull that center section out, just like that, listen. Very satisfying. Just like pulling away like aluminium. And that is a very, very fine piece of brass right there. Okay, let's bend it back over the other side. So I'm just bending it backwards and forwards, just snapping it off so I can keep that nice sharp edge going. Alright, now a little bit of tidying up. And that's it, job done. Right, so there's our cradle. I'll clean that other one up next time. So there's our cradle. I can see I've actually got a couple of top pins jammed in there because I pulled the plug on this one. But that's not really going to be an issue because I can just kind of push them back and clear them out, make sure they don't get in the way. They'll come out one day. But here's the challenge. Does it work? Yes, it goes in. Yes, I can put my key in there like so, and then I can pin it up and rotate it. So let's just do the first couple of cuts to start off with, if this key's even good enough. Alright, it's just like an 8 or something. Oh, jeez, this pinning kit's no good. Okay, so there's an 8 in there, and that works perfectly. Now I can turn it slightly, and I can tell on how far away from the shear line it actually is. And I can see it's actually just at the shear line and not higher than the shear line. So as I turn it, the pin is not protruding enough to make it catch on the housing. And that's pretty much what this does. Now if you've got a vise like this one, for example, okay, you've got your vise like here. Let me zoom out. You've got your vise, not the best vise, but let's just try and work with it. And you clamp your cylinder down. What will happen is that you won't drop your pins. It'll also give you a good surface to adjust your pins. A lot of people say, oh, filing and it's blasphemy and all that sort of stuff, but sometimes pins do need to be adjusted or altered. So this cradle allows you to go straight across the top of the pins, not filing down any of the plug, but straight across the top of the pins, as you can see there. We'll zoom in. Alright. We zoomed in, okay, maybe, okay, there we go, that's better. So you can see the top of the pin there that I've just scored slightly. Sometimes you do need to adjust the pins slightly, and this can allow you to do it by having a cradle. You just hold it in there. What I like to do is just go back and forth like that. It puts a slight moon shape on it. There is another technique which I'll show on a later date, how I can put a dome or a chamfer around the whole pin, each pin, and get it very nice, very similar to what some of the Chinese locks do when needed to be. But the idea is not to stand off any of the plug. So this cradle here, that is what this is good for, somewhere to allow you to drop the pins in, give it a twist, allowing to know that the pins are not too high, and that you can also use it as a gauge when you turn it sideways to see where that shear line is, to see if your pins are low or high, and also for from a method of being able to hold it and file it. I mean, I know there's plenty of locksmiths say, oh, I don't need that. I just grab it like this, right? I put it on my knee, right? Like this, yeah, on the knee, and go, and it's good, it's done. You can do that. I've seen it many times. They hold it just like that in the hand, bang, 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 balancing on the knee, and look, it does work. But for some of us who want to do the best job and the tidiest job we can, a cradle sort of helps you do that, and it costs you next to nothing to make. All right, so that is my video on cylinder plug cradles. Let me know which one you have, let me know what you think, and let me know if you've got a better way of doing it, because these are just the ways that we've been doing you know, in the trade for a few years here in Australia. People in America do it different, people in UK do it different. Anyway, what I'm getting to is thanks for watching.